Claire wasn't the kind of girl who scared easily. At 19, she'd been babysitting since she was 12, and no crying baby, cranky toddler, or creaky old house had ever gotten the best of her. That's why, when the Danners asked her to watch their 2-year-old daughter on a rainy Friday night, she agreed without hesitation. $50 for 4 hours, a fridge full of snacks, and the promise that the little one would already be asleep by the time she arrived. It sounded easy, almost too easy. The Danners' home sat at the edge of a cul-de-sac with tall hedges that made the house feel tucked away, hidden from the rest of the neighborhood. Claire arrived at 7 p.m., sharp. The baby was asleep upstairs. The parents gave quick instructions, and then they were gone, backing out of the driveway and vanishing into the night. The first hour was quiet. Claire stretched out on the couch, scrolling her phone, the sound of rain ticking softly against the windows. She flipped through channels on the TV but landed on static. Every station buzzed with snow like the cable was dead. Annoyed, she muted it and settled into the silence. At 8:15, the landline rang. The sound startled her, a sharp metallic ring that felt far too loud in the still house. She picked up the receiver, expecting the Danners to check in, but the voice on the other end wasn't theirs. It was low, distorted, almost like a whisper through static. "Don't go upstairs." Claire froze. "Who is this?" The line clicked dead. She stood there a moment, staring at the silent phone in her hand, before forcing a laugh. A prank, she told herself. Maybe a crossed line. Landlines still did weird things sometimes, right? She set the receiver back and went to check on the baby, just to prove the caller wrong. The nursery was dark, the only light spilling from a hallway night lamp. The baby lay peacefully in her crib, breathing softly. Claire leaned against the doorway, her nerves settling. Nothing was wrong. She whispered goodnight and pulled the door shut behind her. Back downstairs, she made popcorn and tried again with the TV, still static. She muted it again, focusing instead on the rain. At 9:02, the phone rang again. This time, she didn't answer right away. She stared at it until the fourth ring, then snatched it up, her voice sharper. "Who is this?" Silence. Then slowly, "You shouldn't have gone upstairs." The line went dead again. Claire's skin prickled. She checked the locks, front, back, even the sliding door to the patio. All secure. The hedges outside shuddered with the wind. She told herself it was nothing. Kids from school, maybe, finding the number online. But when she turned back toward the living room, her heart stopped. The TV, though muted, was no longer showing static. On the screen was the nursery, a live feed. Claire dropped the popcorn. The crib filled the screen, the baby asleep. But the camera angle was strange, too high, too close. She looked around wildly. There was no baby monitor in sight, none mentioned by the Danners. Which meant the camera wasn't supposed to be there. She bolted upstairs, throwing open the nursery door. The baby was still asleep, but in the corner, perched high on the dresser, was a small black camera, its red light blinking. Claire yanked it free, her hands trembling, and shoved it into a drawer. Her mind raced. Who set it up? How long had it been there? And most importantly, were they watching right now? She didn't get the chance to answer. The phone rang again. She ran downstairs, grabbed the receiver, and shouted, "Leave us alone." The voice came back, calm and measured now. "Check the front door." Her stomach twisted. Against every instinct she looked. The lock was undone. She was sure she'd bolted it earlier. Hands shaking, she slid it shut again and backed away. Her phone buzzed in her pocket, a text from an unknown number. Too slow. At that exact moment, the baby began to cry. Claire raced upstairs, heart hammering. The crib was empty. She spun in panic until she saw the closet door hanging slightly ajar. She flung it open. Empty. No baby, no sound, just the faint smell of earth, damp and heavy. On the floor, where the baby's blanket had fallen, was a muddy footprint. Small, but not a child's. Claire's scream caught in her throat. She stumbled backward, dialing 911 with shaking hands. The call connected, but no voice answered her. Just static. Behind her, the window creaked. Slowly, she turned. The curtain fluttered in the wind. The window, once locked, was open. Rain blew inside, spattering the floor, and on the glass, smeared in the condensation, were the words, "You should have listened." Claire dropped the popcorn lay spilled across the carpet. The landline dangled from its cord. Neither Claire nor their daughter was ever found.